Snake, there's something I forgot to tell you before.
What?
There were 5 stealth camouflage prototypes in my lab. The 4 suits were missing. Also, about the elevator that I checked out.
When you were riding on it, did the weight limit warning go off?
That's another thing that bothered me about it. The warning went off, and I know I couldn't be over the limit.
How much do you weigh?
About 135, but that elevator had a weight limit of 650 pounds.
It would take at least 5 people to go over that limit.
Look out, Snake! The guys who stole my stealth prototypes are in there with you!
Too late, Snake! Now die!
Gun Russian doing here? What's a Russian gun Russian doing here?
Snake, the hostages have been rescued. I'm patching you through now.
Favorite Metal Gear Solid game?
Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater.
I believe it was the third game, Snake Eater.
Metal Gear Solid 4.
Peace Walker, definitely by far.
I couldn't choose between 1, 2, and 3. I'm sorry, they're both all like great, but for different reasons. Metal Gear Solid 1 by a mile.
Why is that?
That was the first one I played when I was really introduced to these great boss characters.
You get to find out it's mostly the epic climax to a great game series.
I think it's the most developing story out of them all.
It's different from what the other ones touch on. Being Big Boss is very unique, mainly because by the time it came out, Snake had become a little, he had his time, but to see back to the start again is always something that fans love, especially Metal Gear fans. Where it starts is the most important thing in a Metal Gear game. The start is the important things.
What are your favorite elements of the game? Example, infiltration, stealth, or espionage?
I'd have to say the stealth. I really enjoy sneaking around the guards rather than just plowing straight through them all and shooting them.
Particularly like the stealth elements.
My favourite elements would have to be like mostly the action.
Outside Tom Clancy, I think Snake Metal Gear games just do it the best. There's no other stealth espionage games. They did write the genre. I can't quite remember the game, but it was before Metal Gear 1, where it was like basically 2D Snake. It was called like Metal Gear Beta. I can't quite remember, but it was the first espionage game and one of the first AI games where you had line of sight and all that. So, that just made it unique in every way, and it's still coming out with very unique games that there's nothing, people are still basing games around it.
It's made the crazy and over-the-top story, literally just how convoluted and trying to work out and discussing with people and like literally all the wee theories and stuff behind it. Kojima, and also trying to work out as many references as possible. Kojima, and I would say he's the Japanese Tarantino personally. But I will also say how chronologically challenged the series is.
What do you think of the soundtracks to the game?
I freaking love the soundtracks. Bloody epic.
They're pretty good soundtracks, I think. Actually, I find myself singing the tune to Snake Eater all the time, so I guess it must be working.
Score, and that's what I love about it. They are the musicians they have for the game they know what they're doing with the game. They're thinking what song would be perfect for this level, what song would be perfect for the scene. They know how to write a perfect score, and that's what I love about it.
Music to use games. They, without any decent sound, as well as just the sound bites, the sound of guns, the sound of you walking, but the music just gets you into the feel of Snake. With an espionage game as well, you don't want that fast pace, but the way that they can shift the music and the pace of the game just by the music. I mean, rare that games do that, very rare. But it'd be like, you'd be sneaking around 1 second, it would be nice espionage music. Wing, you get spotted, bam, the music speeds up, your adrenaline starts going a little more. If it was all fast paced, you would just run and gun. If it was all slow, so that developers were very clever in knowing when to add the right music and what sort of music to use.
Oh, beautiful. I was really sad whenever I learned that a Russian composer claimed the copyright, so they can't use the original Metal Gear theme tune after 2, I think it is. So they make up their own ones, but still, Snake Eater and whatnot, it's beautiful. It's very well done.
It's amazing, that's what it is.
What's your favorite phrase from the Solid Saga?
Oh, so many to choose from. Snake!
I don't know if my favorite phrase is from the game, but it's influenced by the game. I'm a fan of Ego Raptor, and he does a parody of the game, and his phrases of the game, which are kind of like eccentric versions of what people actually said. I like that one.
You're pretty good.
Guns are the Patriots. That's a great one too.
This gun is the best gun ever.
I don't really have a favourite phrase, just numerous inflections of Drabbin.
Liquid Ocelot just saying, brother.
Do you think it is a heavily Americanized franchise, despite the fact that Kojima Productions is a Japanese development team?
I'd find that hard to say.
I do find it is a bit Americanized. I mean, yeah, America's a big deal, and usually soldier stuff's geared towards it. But you would think they would throw some Japanese stuff in there.
Yes, because I have noticed when I was playing, there's like a lot of Americanisms, like from the soft drinks to the vehicles in the game, like the motorbikes, or like Harley Davidson. And Harley Davidson is American brand name. And also like the iPods, like for example, there's like Apple computers, and also Sony. But then again, Sony is Japanese, but it's actually really heavily well known in America as well as Apple.
It's very American in the whole characters.
Personally, I think it's because of I was trying to get a target audience in America.
General style of how things go reminds me more of Japanese anime, so it strikes a difficult balance there.
Oh, certainly. So you can tell there, Solid Snake isn't action. It's like a traditional American sort of action movie here.
Why do you think it's been Americanized?
I think their audience is more Western than it is Eastern.
There's American sports. Companies are really heavily influenced by American culture. Like, if you see around Japan, a lot of kids are wearing like American-inspired clothes, like New York clothing, New York Yankees baseball. Except even like Japan has their own baseball team, and that's, you can definitely tell that they are heavily influenced because they have their own baseball team as well as other American sports.
Kojima is simply a fan of American culture. I mean, there's loads of people I've met from over here who are Western, and they're the fan of the Japanese culture, so I guess there's got to be a few exceptions to the rule that go the way around.
I like the Americanization because I recently had a conversation with a friend who said how Easternized we had gotten, and through other media genres, mainly cinema, and through anime and stuff, how we were influencing each other. And it's nice to see a game that is kind of open about it, and that kind of goes, our main character is based on one of your movies, based on Escape from New York, which, it's so obvious, it's almost said without being said, and it's quirky in that way. The way Hideo has done that really added almost something to the game, because you knew it made it more relatable. Like a lot of, especially now with Metal Gear Rising coming out, it's with all the mecha, it's not appealing to the whole world like Metal Gear did. I mean, in Metal Gear's series before that, really highly, popular in Japan and China and Asia and in Europe and in America. So it was, if they didn't have that Americanization in it, I don't think it would appeal to as many people, and it wouldn't be as relatable.
As America rules the world.
I'll arrange an evacuation. Now go stop Liquid.
Who's put
blueprints are these?